You're listening to the Cool CLE Show.
You're listening to the Cool CLE Show, brought to you by CoolCleveland.com, putting you in touch with cool events, people, news, and neighborhoods in the Cleveland region. Love is in the air this week as we learn about what's hot and what's not in weddings with Cleveland wedding blogger and event organizer Covesa Gragg of Covesa CLE Events. And we have music from the Cleveland band chosen to play at this year's South by Southwest Festival, Mourning a BLKstar, and singer-songwriter Gretchen Pleuss. Stay tuned. Local bands, the Mason District and Poe are playing alongside Alabama band The Brummies at the Grog Shop on January 31st. February 1st, the Bop Stop, known for its live jazz music, is hosting an exhibition of No Numbers work, a series of photographs of local and regional musicians entitled Proxy a Photo. The exhibition's opening night is February 1st and runs for 90 days. No Numbers is the artistic name for Aaron Brown, who's an Ohio City native and local artist working here in Cleveland. Musical performances will be provided by Michael McFarland, Apostle Jones, Magnetic West, and also spoken word performances are on the bill. You can head to Geneva for its Winterfest, kicking off February 2nd at 8 a.m. You can shake off that cabin fever with food, games, activities, contests, and more in historic downtown Geneva. All the events are free and family-friendly. Or you can check out Groundhog Fun Day at the Cleveland Museum of Natural History with live animal demonstrations and family-friendly crafts related to the natural and unnatural history of springtime's legendary rodent. Here's to a short winter. You can see the Garfield home and property in Menor as you've never seen it before with special 2-hour behind-the-scenes tour. The cost is $15 per person. Reservations are required, so please call 440-255-8722 for more information. Akron rock band Ravenwood will be opening for Zoso, the ultimate Led Zeppelin tribute band, on February 2nd at the Akron Civic Center. Do you love conspiracy theories? Well, you could join the Cleveland Area Paranormal Society for an illuminating look into the world of conspiracies and the occult on February 3rd and 10th. Jonathan Lestat will guide you through the realm of American occult conspiracy thought, both historical and contemporary. Jonathan is a graduate of Case Western Reserve University School of Law and an avid fan of all things political and spooky. There's a lunch and lecture on the life of Frederick Douglass at Sky Bistro in Mentor on February 5th. Born a slave in Maryland, he escaped to the North and became a passionate, articulate voice for the abolition of slavery and civil and political rights for African Americans. Now, Cleveland band Mourning a BLKstar has had a fantastic 2018. According to them, full of growth, challenge, and profound connections. And they recently have been invited to play at this year's South by Southwest Festival. This prestigious music festival invites artists, industry professionals, and fans from all over the world to Austin, Texas for a week every March to attend performances by iconic artists, make professional connections, and elevate their musical careers. The band, with 8 members, has set up a GoFundMe page to help with the expenses associated with traveling the huge distance to Austin, including airfare, lodging, and food. Here's a track from its most recent album, The Garner Poems, called Anti-Anthem.
Started with my father.
That was Cleveland band Mourning a Black Star with Anti-Anthem. Please help them on their journey to represent Cleveland at the South by Southwest Music Festival by visiting and donating to its GoFundMe page. Help Mourning a Black Star get to South by Southwest. All right. We are now joined by wedding planner extraordinaire in Cleveland, Covesa Gragg of Covesa CLE Events. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So we just got done with sort of Christmas and New Year. We're fast approaching Valentine's Day. As I can tell by any time going to a shop, I'm bombarded with chocolates and big red hearts and stuffed animals. Perfect time to talk about engagements and love. And I hear you are the expert in all things weddings.
Well, I try.
So tell me, 2019 and beyond, what are some of the hot trends in weddings going on right now?
And I hope this doesn't sound corny, but when I think of trend, I think of hot right now, real cold later.
Yeah.
But one thing that I'm starting to see, I don't even want to use the word trend. I just want to see, or I want to say it's becoming more regular, is people being themselves. So I am starting to see a lot of couples embracing their individual personalities, their individual family cultures, their couple cultures, things that they've built and traditions that they started as a couple in their wedding. And it's so refreshing.
What sort of things, as an example of that, have you seen?
I feel like people are getting a little more in tune with the ceremony part of the wedding instead of just the reception. They're asking longtime friends and close family members to participate in the ceremony, whether it's readings, like warm words, poetry. You do have those opportunities at the reception, like with a toast or a parent's welcome or something. But it's nice sometimes when maybe it's the person who introduced them, or maybe it's the best friend that they both share that can just say something warm when everyone's still sober, to just give some reflection on maybe the course that the couple has traveled. So,
and it's, I mean, in your wedding day, it's such a big buildup. We personally went to England over Christmas for a friend's wedding, and they've been planning for 2 years, and it was gone in such a quick, day. So I like how you sort of that mindfulness in the ceremony and taking that time to produce some memories. That's very interesting.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I feel like it actually, it's a great experience for the guests too, because you'll remember that wedding. Oh, you remember when they did this or they did that. They incorporated, we had a couple who liked to travel, and they incorporated the travel within the wedding, and everyone got it. So I think those are great pieces of memories for people to walk away with at the end.
And you recently wrote a blog about, conversely, the trends to possibly say goodbye to. What were some of those?
So some of the things that I kind of highlighted in the blog, which came from a blog that I saw like on Vogue. So I just kind of went through that and kind of picked what I agreed with. And they were mostly decoration things, like the whole monochromatic bridesmaid dresses. Like everyone has to wear this, violet satin,
poofy
floor terrible dress. And it's just like, for what? It's like, why does that have to happen? And finally, people are getting away from it. And now, I'm definitely saying it. And even the other, the editorial magazine folks are saying it out loud too. They're sick of it as well. But people are, again, just embracing personality. Hey, bridesmaid, go pick out a dress. Can you just make sure it's either black, red, or gold? Or, go pick out a black dress. Just don't make it satin. And then it's nice to see what folks show up with, and they're comfortable. They're feeling good in their skin. So I feel like that was a good one. I don't know why bridal parties have gotten so big over the years. Like, I'm talking 12, 13 people on each side. So, that makes like a bridal party of 26 people, wow, plus a bride and a groom and a kid, a flower girl and a ring bearer. That's a lot of people.
It's all right if you're like a princess or something, perhaps.
It's something. It's awful moving all those people around in those satin dresses that they hate. Like the cameraman or camerawoman is trying to get a great shot, but you can't really, you have to stand in the back of the church to get everyone in the picture. So, that's kind of going away. And I have to, every time I see this, I laugh because, Pantone does the big color of the year every year.
Oh, okay.
And it's the color of the year for, paint, everything. Mm-hmm. And this year the color is coral.
Oh, no.
And I'm so tired of coral. And I really thought we were away from it because, coral was super hot maybe 4 years ago, and it wouldn't die. And then it kind of went away in 2018. I really I don't think I saw any of it. And now they put that as the color of the year. And I'm like, what are you doing? But hopefully it doesn't trickle over into the wedding market. I hope we're done with it. We should be done with it. Let's see, like silk runners on tables. I don't even know if you've ever noticed that. If you're at a table and they'll have a tablecloth and then they'll have this random satin, again, with the satin runner going across the table. And it's like, in most cases, it doesn't make sense. And I feel like people are trying to add more just to add more, but in most cases, it doesn't make sense.
And it's also an expense, right? It's like a non-needed expense. It's bad enough weddings are expensive, but yeah, you don't need to add that non-essential stuff. What sort of advice would you give a couple who perhaps may have gotten just engaged over the holidays or about to be engaged? What sort of key pieces of advice would you give them as a starting off point?
Well, it's funny because, it's not funny. It's serious. What it is I actually just finished writing a book, and the book is talking about this very scenario. What should you do? And the first thing that there really isn't one first thing. There's probably 5, but I feel like what couples really need to do is kind of, after all the excitement has gone away or died down from the engagement, is really kind of sit and talk with each other about what they want out of a wedding. A lot of times I feel like couples don't have that conversation, and then by the time they're 25 to 30% into it, somebody realizes that, we're not on the same page. Typically the bride wants to have this big shindig wedding with all this money, and the groom is like, when did we ever discuss spending $30,000? So I feel like if most couples, if they could sit down and really, truly kind of, again, be who they are and figure out what they want, then they can go to the next step, which is, okay, how much are we going to spend for this? How much do we have to spend for this? Are we going to do it on credit cards? Are our parents helping us? Are we paying cash? I think the average age in our country where couples are getting married is like 26 for the girls, maybe 29 for the guys. Most 26 and 29-year-olds haven't saved, 30 grand to spend on a wedding. So I think those are kind of the first few steps that couples should take to try and help avoid some of the pitfalls that come with wedding planning.
And you've got an event, I don't know if the dates are scheduled yet, but you do sort of this Brides in the City. Could you talk a little bit about that as well?
Sure. So Brides in the City is a traveling bridal show. We put about 40 girls and their guests on a bus, on like a chauffeured limo bus, and we go on a predetermined schedule to different churches, ceremony sites, reception sites that people can consider for their nuptials. And at each spot, we kind of have like a theme. So maybe this, like the first stop, we might have some brunch. and some music going. We might have like a hair and makeup stylist on site to talk about, hey, the morning of your wedding, this is what's going on. Everyone's getting ready. You know, makeup takes about an hour. This is what you should anticipate. The photographer is in and out taking pictures, and there's a lot going on. And then we might move to the next spot, which might be for the ceremony. So at this point, this is what's going on. This is what a setup looks like. This is what maybe a traditional ceremony, how it runs. So we kind of take the group through what a wedding day feels like. And hopefully they can take that advantage to ask all the questions that they want. I am on the tour along with my team and all the vendors. And then hopefully they go back, they book places that they went to on the tour and or book vendors that they met on the tour.
That's a really unique and I'm sure very useful method for brides to sort of see what's available in the area, and like you say, get a really good like idea of like, oh gosh, this is all this stuff, and maybe things they didn't think about. Obviously they get to sort of network with other people. That sounds very, very interesting. So if people are interested in that or Covesa's blog, please check out CovesaKellyEvents.com. That's Covesa Kelly Kelly events.com. You can sign up to her monthly sort of newsletter, get notifications of events coming up, and of course read her very useful blog. Thank you so much, Covesa. I really appreciated your time and your advice.
Oh, thank you so much, and you are very welcome.
Ohio native Gretchen Pleuss is an up-and-coming songwriter with a seasoned sound. According to the Akron Beacon Journal, the influences of Joni Mitchell, Sean Colvin, Nick Drake, and Ani DeFranco can be heard in her unique chord progressions and vocal nuances. This is her latest track. See what you think. It's called If You Saw Me Now.
This is how it always starts. She asked, is he gonna break your heart? I don't know, mama, I don't know. God, I really hope so. I haven't felt much in a year. I'm losing friends faster than myself in the mirror. You and I would always search for higher ground. Love was easier when you were still around. If you saw me now, would you question what I've done? Or would you understand why I always run? If you saw me saw me now. In my mind I've already escaped. Check the transmission and the brakes. Studied every word and tone for white lies. Searched the dresser for his mask in disguise. They always try me on for size. But if you saw me now, would you question what he's done? Or would you understand why he's still the one? If you saw me now, if you saw me sure this is how it always ends. She asked, could you feel that way again? I don't know, Mama, I don't know. God, I really hope so.
That was Gretchen Pleuss with her latest release, If You Saw Me Now, streaming on all digital channels. You can catch her every Tuesday as she hosts the Uncorked open mic at the Uncorked Wine Bar in Akron. And that's it for this week. Big thanks to Covesa Gragg of Covesa CLE Events for the lowdown on wedding trends and planning. If you're in the throes of wedding planning yourself, then make sure you sign up for her regular updates on CovesaCLEevents.com. Also to Gretchen Pleuss and Mourning a BLKstar for the tunes. Make sure you also visit Mourning a BLKstar's GoFundMe page to help them get to the South by Southwest Festival in March. You've been listening to The Cool CLE Show, brought to you by CoolCleveland.com. Have a good one.